to Blonde Highlights. I'm your host, Kris Yeo.
And I'm Kyle Hennessy.
We are so excited you guys are here today. We have a lot of fun things that we are doing, so let's get into it. So, first of all, we just want to say that today is our 13th episode. So, we are both feeling rather witchy today. So, we are going to switch up our celebrity gossip, and instead of giving you the tea, we're going to give you our witchy predictions. Okay? We both have some good ones. We are also going to lean in to telling you guys if what you guys have sent us is a highlight or low light. So we did that last week. We had so much fun doing it, and a lot of you guys have been really interactive with it. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. So let's start off again by channeling our 13th episode and our inner witches. And Kyle's going to pull a tarot card for us.
We got our card.
This is gonna be for the podcast.
Yes. Give us some ASMR of like shuffling the cards.
Yeah, get the cards right up to the mic.
Even though I can't shuffle to save my life. You're basically hearing me like not be able to shuffle.
Oh, do that again. Do that sound again. That was a good sound. I'm a sucker for ASMR.
Okay. I don't know if it's doing much.
Well,
okay.
Honestly, like I'm throbbing.
Okay, we're going to pick a card. We're going to pick a card. I'm going to pick this one. This is for the podcast. Oh, actually, no, that's not meant to go in the deck. Never mind. It was like one of the extras. You know what I mean? Like there was a little photo for the deck. It's a weird thing. Okay. Pull this. Oh. Guess what we pulled? The World card. Honey, the world. Yes.
What does this mean? What does it mean, though?
It means we're going to be worldwide, baby.
Yes.
Yes, worldwide. Oh, and look, she got her little titties out, too.
Oh, she's freeing that nipple. Yes.
Yes, she freed the nipple and everything.
We are divine feminine energy. We love it.
Exactly. That's a good card to pull. I feel like that's a good card to pull.
I wish I fully knew what it meant. You know, I'm going to be looking it up later.
Like, you know what? I like to like it. Yeah, exactly. But I don't like to look up what it means. I like to like intuitively read it for the situation, you know?
I love it.
And
what?
I was gonna say, I read it as like she's gonna own the world, honey.
We are. We're gonna blow up. We're already getting followers on TikTok, and we're having fun on TikTok. By the way, I'm loving our TikTok right now.
I know. And I feel like you're like more new to TikTok, where like, honey, she's been in the trenches of TikTok for years.
I think that's why it's really exciting to me, because I've never, like, I have a TikTok page and I've posted on it maybe like 10 times. I never got into the TikTok world. And now that I'm doing our podcast through there, I'm like, holy shit, this whole time I think I've been a TikTok girly and I've only just allowed myself to stay on Instagram. So like, I'm like encroaching in on TikTok. It's fun.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, we're two gals that wear crew socks. So we're going to fit in on TikTok, you know?
We have our crew socks on. Like, I'm literally wearing them right now. We're good.
Like, we burned. Sorry.
We what? I
was going to say, we burned our ankle socks.
They're gone. Oh my God. I wore my crew socks today. This is so embarrassing, you guys. I did a 4K walk, right? And when I got to my front door, I like half peed my pants. Like, my neighbor was outside and I was like, at this point, I'm like booking it. Like, I know I'm going to pee. And as soon as I see my neighbor, she like went to put her hand up and I just like put my hand up at her. I'm like, I'm going to pee. And she's like, she sees me going. And when I got to my door, I'm like stomping my foot and I'm like trying to get the key in. And I just hear her be like, you're not going to make it. And I'm like, I know. And then like right after I was like, oh my God, I'm not making it. She's like, get inside. Yeah.
Why is it like those last like 15 seconds are the hardest? you know?
Honest to God, it's like as soon as my body knows that I've hit home base. Like when I would travel and then come back to my mom's house, it was like the closer I got to my mom's house, the closer I had to go. Like it was like my body just knew that I could just be in like comfort. But so,
I literally hate
actually, my highlight, we'll get into our highlight and low light. My highlight has to do with walking. So my highlight is that I've been working on my mental health and I've been going for my 4 to 5K walks every day.
Hell yeah.
And yeah, hell yeah. And it's been really good. It's been really refreshing. I'm like really trying to push myself. And like the other night I went out and it turned into a lightning storm. So Michael was texting me. He's like, you better come home before you die. Like, just please come home. So, but I've been really consistent with it, which has been good. But my low
I have one question for you. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. How many miles is a kilometer, whatever, kilometer? Is it like 2.5 miles?
Something like that, yeah.
I'm just like,
we're like
me and like me and the other Americans listening are like, what the hell is a kilometer?
I know, you guys are like the
That's
only
not
ones that
American.
do it. So, yeah, we're like half. I think like a kilometer is like is just like, I don't know. It's like, I just confused myself.
I had to like, one time I had one of my other Canadian friends, I had to drive like her minivan like on the highway to Palm Springs and it was all in kilometers. I'm like, what the hell is going on?
It's too much. Honestly, I don't know. We're gonna look that up. I wish we had someone right now that could just like look that up and give us the facts, but I've definitely confused myself.
I think it's like, if you said 4 to 5, I think it's like 2 to 2.5 miles. Because I've done like 5K runs. That's why I'm saying that.
Yes. Yeah.
Only marathoners know the K's.
Yeah, like I'm not a marathoner, okay? I'm just walking. Okay, I'm just like a speed walker. Like I feel like I'm doing like the jazzercise exercise sometimes because like when I'm power walking, I'm like, I gotta cinch this waist. I'm like, this is me in my 30s now. Like I am just like going down and I just go like a straight line and it like, you know, it goes up and down. Like there is an incline throughout it. But then by the time I get to the end and I just like jog on the spot for a second and then I turn around and come back. But it's been good. My low light, however, has been, I don't know what has happened to me this week. Even though I'm like working on the mental health, I have had like the worst anxiety I think that I've had in years. I don't know what's going on. But I had a dentist appointment that was scheduled for yesterday. And the way that I felt like a child because Michael had to call the dentist for me because I couldn't go in because I was so scared of the dental dam. Like, here's my thing, okay, is that I was getting a filling, okay, and I was like, the last time I went and had my filling, whenever they put the dental dam over my mouth, I feel like I can't swallow. And so last time it happened and I was like, I kind of like panicked for a second and my dentist was like, no, you can swallow. It just like takes a second for your brain to like, you know, figure out what's going on. So anyways, this whole time I had messaged and called the dentist the night before my appointment and I was like, look, like, is there anything that you can prescribe me? Like, I'm just super anxious. And they had all these options, but I didn't hear back till the next morning. So it was too late for me to like get any of these options.
Yeah.
And so all I was thinking, Michael calls me, he's like, okay, like, he's like, so you're good to go, whatever. And full on panic attack. I'm like, they're going to put the dental dam on me. And then I'm going to like not be able to swallow. And then I'm like losing my mind. I'm like, and then I'm going to have a panic attack and not be able to regulate my anxiety. And he was like, holy shit. He's like, okay, I'll call them. Like, he's like, so I had to have Michael call and like cancel my whole dental appointment. And it was just like, God. I was scared of the dental dam. But that was my anxiety.
What's a dental dam? Because
Okay,
I thought that was something for like the hoo-ha.
People use it for the hoo-ha. It is
What the fuck is it? What is going in your
You're
mouth?
like, bitch, what are you doing at your dentist? No, so the dental dam, which it is used for the hoo-ha. People use it for, like, the time of the period or, like, whatever. But it's this, like, blue... it's almost like... It reminds me of, you know those, like, blot patches or those blot cloths that you can get, like, those blue ones, and it, like, does your sweat?
Yeah.
So it's like a blue thing like that, and they put it over your mouth so that way things don't fall down your throat.
Oh. So it, like, goes inside.
I don't know. I don't know if it's... Yeah, it's a little bit inside. I don't know, though. I really don't know.
This has never happened to me.
They attach it to your teeth. I think they attach it to your teeth, and it almost acts as like a net. So that way they can't drop anything down your throat.
Oh. Well, we just raw dog it, I guess. My dentist.
Not my dentist. My dentist, like, puts this on, and as soon as it goes on, I'm like, I can't swallow. So I knew 100% that if I went in and felt I couldn't swallow, it would have been fucking, like, over for me in that dentist. And then they're like, they were kind of annoyed, and, like, then I was all dramatic to Michael. I'm like, I'm saving them the trouble. I'm like, I know I would have caused a scene in there today. I made the responsible decision.
Oh my God. No, I've told you, like, so my mom works for my dentist. Like, I'm 34 years old, and I still go back to, like, my hometown, and my mom makes my dental appointments, and I go in because it's free. And, but the problem is that, like, I start out and my mom's literally, like, has her hands in my mouth. Like, she's like, sit down and shut the fuck up. Like, she's actually, like, torturing me. She's like, I'm getting you back for being a bitch to me on the phone. Like,
she's like, this is my payback, bitch. Oh my God. What are your highlights and lowlights?
Okay, so my highlight this is really exciting. I had my first, like, real comedy show last Friday.
Yay!
Or this past Friday, yeah. And it was just so crazy. Like, it's just like everything that's ever happened in my life, it's just like I've just been there at the right time. You know what I mean? Like, she was there, she was ready, she was prepared, she was ready to go. And so I actually had a psychic prediction about this being about 13 episode spookiness. I said to Kris, I texted her and I said, I'm going over one of my sketches because I'm going to this comedy show tonight, and I'm like, what if someone backs out? And they're like, we need somebody, and I'm there, so I'm preparing. But yeah, I just went to a show to go see some people that I know to support them, and that's what happened. I was there. The owner, she was like chatting with me here and there as people were coming in, and then she comes over and she's like, hey, do you have a 5-minute set? Do you want to get on stage? And she's like, someone canceled, and, you know, and I was like, sure, yeah. But then she was like, wait, have you ever done, like, a real show other than, like, open mics or whatever? And I'm like, no. I almost lied and said, yeah, but I was like, no, I haven't. And she's like, you sure? And I'm like, girl, I got this. Like, I have this in the bag right now. Like, I have no shame. I am not scared, like, down to go. Like, my stomach was so stressed out. But, like, I got up there. It was funny because they announced me as, like, she's never done a real show. Like, this is her first time. So be nice. And I get up there and I grab the microphone. And I'm like, froze for, like, 5 seconds. And then I was like, sorry, I'm just kidding.
Oh, my God, I love that.
I was like, scared ya. And I really don't know how I did. Like, afterwards, like, the owner, she's like, you're really comfortable on stage in front of people. And I was like, she's crazy. I don't even care anymore. But it was so exciting.
That. That's like it's like you did the Willy Wonka thing. You know, when they meet Willy Wonka and he comes out and he's like, oh, like, on his cane, and then all of a sudden he just, like, somersaults over. He's like, kidding. I feel like that's the vibe you put on. I love that.
It really, really is. Okay. So my low light is that, like, what really sucks about girlhood in general is having to get your car fixed, okay? Because I just need my brake pads changed, okay? I have a Mazda SUV, and I just need the brakes changed. There's nothing serious going on here. You know what I mean? Why do I go in places and I'm at Target and they're like, you know, oh, you need this and you need that and you need this and you need that. And I'm like, the hell that I do? Now, why is it costing me like so much freaking money to change my brake pads? Like, shut up. I don't need all those extra things. You're pulling some freaking, you know, don't try to hustle me.
They don't even hustle you, though. They, like, put the fear of God in you. They're like, you need to do this for your car, or else your car's going to fall apart as you're driving and you're going to die. Like, that's the type of fear that mechanics will put in you. Like, I'm lucky because I grew up, my dad used to be a mechanic at some point. So, like, I've always had car people in my back pocket. However, I refuse to even take the car in for an oil change because it's that whole thing where they're like, oh, you need to change your filter. Oh, your tire pressure. Oh, you probably need a new tire. Like, all of a sudden it goes from like oil to tires. It's like, just change my oil and like, let me fuck off. You know?
No, exactly. Exactly. That's exactly what happens. And they're like, yeah, your car's going to fly off the Mulholland Highway and you're going to crash 100 feet to your death. Like, and I'm honestly, like, no, I'm just...
It's too much. It's like the scariest thing is going. Okay, no, for me it's the dentist, as we know, but the mechanic is like, it's too much.
So I've been Ubering all over town just because now I'm like procrastinating getting my car fixed because I don't want to go back in and try to get like crazy upsold and like all of these things. And yeah, and then this guy was like, oh, and then like he's like, you know, I can give you my number and I can do it out of my garage at home, all this stuff, and I'm like, no,
thanks, because
no,
that
can we
sounds
just,
safe.
just change the brake pads and we'll be okay, you know?
Yeah. No, I'll never forget the time that the alternator on my car went. So like when your alternator goes, this was like my first like real car. It was like a little Saturn. It was purple. Called it the Big B for the Barney car. Anyways, and I was driving and all of a sudden my radio started glitching, and I was like. I just started noticing all the signs and I'm on the highway. So I'm like, I got to get off. I pull off. All right. And I'm like freaking out because when I'm pulling off, my lights aren't working. So like I'm pulled off. I'm like, I can't drive the car any further. So instead of being smart and taking the car and like totally just like pushing it to the off ramp, like pushing the limits of it, I just like stop on the off ramp. So now people are coming off the highway and almost hitting my car. So I call my friend. And I'm like, you have to come get me. Like, I'm freaking out. I call an ex-boyfriend. I'm like, you need to come get my car off the highway because he lives close. All these dramatics. And my friend, she's driving down and she's about to get off the off ramp, and she sees me hanging out of my car because I can't get out of my car. I'm gonna get hit. I'm hanging out of my car and I'm bawling my eyes out and I'm waving people just to go by me so nobody hits my car. And I like the way I'm like, she's pulling off and I see her and she's dying laughing, and I was like, just go, move. And I'm trying to get everyone to go, and she's like, why the fuck did you just pull off all the way? Like, why are you hanging out of the car? I was like, if my car gets hit, I can't afford to fix it.
I'm just visually.
Like, you can just imagine, like, I'm like ugly crying, like just waving people by. Oh my god, so funny. No, car stuff is brutal. It's just, it's not good.
And that's like my thing. My thing too is just like you. Like, I came from the country, and like my dad, my brothers, everyone works on cars. You know what I mean? Like, my dad taught me how to change my oil and change my brakes, but I didn't retain any of the information. Hell, I didn't even drive a car for a decade. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even know anymore.
I know. I feel like my dad tried to teach me things, and I'm just like, wasn't interested. So now I just rely on my brother, but. Oh my god, no, and the worst is when you have like such a shitty car, and you know, we have like the emissions test, and you used to have to get your car e-tested before you could like upgrade your like your I think your yearly license plate
registration
thing. the way that I would have to dodge that whole thing because I knew my car wouldn't pass the test. And then I had to get someone to bring it in for me and just be like, just figure it out and like just somehow get me this pass. But...
No, in California you have to have that pass thing too. If it's over a certain year old or whatever. But like in Ohio growing up, honey, no. The cars that I drove would have never passed any inspection. Never. I drove freaking tanks around town, you know?
My mufflers would always fall off. I had like 3 cars, and the mufflers would always fall off. So they were so loud. Like, my mom, when I was living at home for one of the cars, she was like, get that thing fixed. It'd be like 1 a.m. And she said that she would just, know that she's home because she could hear me coming down the road. Just like my car, like, it could sound like I paid for it to sound like that.
No, I had a friend, like one of my best friends growing up. She had this car that, like, you would literally hear it because, like, when she would come through, like, where I grew up was, like, kind of like a valley, and we were kind of up on the hill. We could hear her coming through the valley, like, echoing up the hill, like, and then we're like, here she comes. And then, like, 4 minutes later, you could hear her getting closer and closer coming over the hill.
Oh, my God. I love it. You know what, though? Like, I will never drive, like, a super expensive car. Like, I just won't. No. I can't justify it. I think because, like, I've just grown up in, like, shit cars that I've had for myself. Like, my dad growing up was, like, such a car guy. He had, like, a car, like, shipped in. It was, like, 1 of 5. You know what I mean? Like, he had all these luxury vehicles at one point. And I'm like, I think because I just, like, on my own had such shitty vehicles, I'm like, I'm never investing in, like, I'm not doing, like, a high-end car, you know?
No. Literally say, my first car that I had in high school, I would all constantly overheat, so I would have to constantly pour water in the radiator. So I would, like, run out of class, like, as fast as I could to my car, grab a gallon of water from the back seat, pop the hood, pour it into the radiator, close it up, get in the car, like, take off.
Oh my God, it's gonna fall apart. Oh my God, no, too much. So funny.
I had to fill a bucket of water before I could leave for school in the morning.
It's a hunk of shit.
I know.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Let's get into our predictions.
Okay.
Good predictions, guys. Good predictions.
Okay. Do you want to go first with the predictions?
Okay. So here's my thing. With my predictions, I don't know exact specifics. Okay. But for me, I have 3 either families or celebrities that I feel like are going to hit headlines. And I don't know what specifically for. Okay. My first one is the Smiths, Will and Jada,
okay.
And the kids. Something with the kids. Something is like gonna come out soon. I don't know if it's trouble. I just feel like this. I have to do like my witchy hands, but I just feel there's an energy. I don't know. I just feel something with the kids is coming out soon. Okay. And my next prediction is Miley Cyrus is gonna make major headlines soon, and I don't know what for. I just have a feeling she's gonna be all over the headlines. I don't know if it's because she's gonna have like a banger come out.
Yeah.
And she's gonna be like all over it. But Miley Cyrus, I'm feeling like a Miley Cyrus thing happening.
I can feel that.
Right? My next one is Katy Perry. Katy Perry is going to unravel something. I feel like Katy Perry is going to share like a type of news with us.
Yeah.
Okay? I don't know what.
But she has an album coming out.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, she has an album coming out really soon. Like, she just released a little snippet of one of the songs.
No, but it's not going to be about her album. Maybe Katy Perry's gonna release, like, she's gonna unravel a truth to us.
Oh yeah, but
She's
I'm
gonna
saying
give us information.
I could see her lining up like some things that she's trying to expose or something she wants to say that would make big headlines. That it would go in hand with releasing an album. You know what I mean? Get the where the tension's like on her. I can see that. Yeah.
I feel like something's coming, and I don't know who this is for, but it's gonna be a female pop star prison. I don't know who.
Somebody's going to prison?
I don't know who. This is just my predictions.
Oh my god.
I don't know who.
Maybe for like tax fraud or something.
I don't know. Oh my god, knock on wood. But I never, ever, ever want to. I'm not trying to put bad juju out there. These are just my predictions, like what I think.
Yeah. I love that.
What are yours?
My predictions, I did a very different assignment.
Kyle's predictions are going to be so accurate. Mine are so loose. Okay, I want to know. Hit me.
Okay, my first prediction, is that Chaperone is going to become one of the biggest pop sensations of the next generation. And, like, I'm seeing all these people, they're comparing her rise to fame like Lady Gaga. You know what I mean? Like she's like a drag queen. Like she loves to refer to herself as a drag queen. She does the crazy hair, crazy makeup, crazy whatever. The songs are good, the lyrics are good, the music's good. Like she's amazing. And like I'm just saying like one thing about this. So I really think that she's blowing up huge. And I saw her when she was on Jimmy Fallon like a day or so ago. Ooh. And she performed. She had an amazing outfit. And not only was she so talented in every way, she had amazing banter with Jimmy Fallon. Like, she was funny. And I was like, man, how can she have it all? How can she have it all?
Girl's got it all.
Girl got it all. So, and at first I was just like, F these kids. Like, fuck these kids and their little pop star. You know? I'm like, who is this? Whatever. I was so over it. But then it's so stuck in my head. Now I'm like, I've got it. Like, I got the itch, you know, for her. And I just feel like she's going to be huge from what I've seen.
She's going to blow up.
Yeah. Okay. And I will say about this, stop comparing her to Lady Gaga. Okay? Because we did this to Lady Gaga and Madonna. Let's not pit each other against each other. Girls can be creative and weird and whatever, you know, without comparing. My other prediction is that people are going to start turning on Taylor Swift. We are about to watch the downfall of Taylor Swift. And this is no, like, hate towards her. Like, the thing is that, like, I'm not a huge fan of her music, but I have mad respect for her and her work ethic and the way that how accomplished she is and everything. But she has been doing some shady things to stay on top lately. She released like 37 freaking editions of this latest album to block out every single other female pop star from the #1 spot. You know, because every time she releases a new version, her fans jump to streaming and buying the new version and buying the whatever. And so she blocked out Billie Eilish at the very last minute by releasing another copy. And then she did the same thing to Charlie XCX. But here's how directed it was at Charlie XCX, because Charlie was going to win #1 in the UK. Taylor released like some crazy like 37th whatever version of this album only in the UK the day before they finalized the count for the week. Like, that was so directed at that. And she's done it to like all these major pop stars, and they're starting to be like, hey, this is not cool. Like, this is shady. Like, apparently Billie Eilish has said that. Charlie actually won't talk about it, but like everyone's saying it. And there's just this thing of like, everyone's like, listen, girl, you have won every award that can be won. You are on top. Like, you're on a whole other universe. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, why do you have to keep stepping on the toes of these fellow female pop singers? You know what I mean? And it's just bad behavior, and it's shady, and let someone else have a chance. You know what I mean? And fight fairly, you know? Yeah, and so I just feel like everyone's got a sour taste in their mouth. And I'm seeing this like trend happening. So I'm like thinking that's my prediction for that.
Okay.
I think
Damn. Okay. I feel like you're really angry about it.
I'm not really angry about it, but I'm just seeing a trend and I'm thinking like this is going to go this way. You know what I mean? Like I'm not angry about it at all. I just like I'm seeing like people are going to start and once you have a level of like extreme exposure, you know what I mean? Like sometimes you have to retreat. It's been this way with Taylor Swift before. There was a point where we got like overexposed to her and then she like took a little break. You know what I mean? So that's what will happen. Like I'm not wishing ill intent on her. I just feel like there's going to be a switch in the tide with her and she's going to like retreat some, you know, which could be good after all this, you know. And it was like with Anne Hathaway. Anne Hathaway one time, she was like, everyone is sick of me. Everyone hates me because they're so sick of me because I'm so overexposed. And she went to hiding a little bit. And then she came back and like, we love Anne Hathaway, you know. Love Anne Hathaway.
Man.
One more prediction.
That's a good one. Okay, I like it.
Yeah, and Swifties, don't come for me. Do not come for me, please.
No, we don't hate on her.
Yeah,
I'm the same. Like I like a lot of her music. I don't like a lot of her music, but I love her as an artist. I respect what she does as an artist. You know what I mean? Like there are some songs that I'm like, hey, I love this song or whatever, but I wouldn't typically put her on. You know what I mean? But
yeah, same.
Like she's an incredible artist and she's so smart. Like I love that. Yeah. So we're not hating on her.
Yeah. And my other last prediction is I was watching the Kardashians last night and Kim, well, first of all, I can't believe Kourtney showed her birth again. Like she literally birthed a baby on camera again.
Did she pull it out of the first time?
No, not this time. No, she didn't pull it out again. But it was like you saw like you saw literally like the inner, like her vagina was almost fully on display. But I kind of love it. But anyways, so Kim K, she's going into acting. Like she had that show, American Horror Story. She just sold this other show, and it's saying like all like the five networks she like pitched the show towards. It's a comedy. They all sent in offers, and they sold the show. So there is a comedic movie coming out starring Kim Kardashian. And then I just think that this is going to be the next phase of the Kardashian legacy. Because, listen, the show, what is going on the show anymore? You know what I mean? They're like, we're going to go to a goat farm and look at like picking out goats, you know? And then, of course, they'll take the goat home because the goat's going to shit in their like perfectly manicured lawn. And then, and they're like, we're going to pull a prank on Kris. And we're going to steal her poodle and get her a haircut. Like, that's the show. Like, there's nothing happening anymore, but I think the final legacy is Kim Kardashian is going to become this like actress, and she's going to have like, you know how J-Lo has her romantic comedies, and it's almost a genre of movie in its own starring J-Lo. I feel like we're going to have this like genre of like Kim Kardashian movies to the future, full Elizabeth Taylor status. You know what I mean? Like that's going to cement her as, she's already an icon, but that's going to cement her as this. You know what I mean? Like, I just see Elizabeth Taylor in the future. You know what I mean? Her acting in movies, her being even more of an icon status, and, you know, as we grow older.
And you know what? The thing about her, though, is that she's really funny.
Yeah, she is.
She really, throughout the show, and she might not always be, like, the loudest comedian or, like, the most recognizable one on the show. Like, the other sisters obviously have like bigger personalities sometimes, but she is like she's like effortlessly funny, or like the things that she does, or like the stories that she's told that she did when she was growing up. Like she's actually just like a really silly and like funny person. So I think if she went into comedy and like did comedy things, I think that we would see like this really cool side of her. I hope, man. That's really cool.
Yeah. And it seemed like she's teaming up with Ryan Murphy, which is huge. Oh, wow. And also, the writers are from like SNL, and one of the writers is from SNL, but they've written tons of like hit movies that we all love. So I'm excited for this next era of that.
Okay, that's fun.
Yeah.
Okay, now what happens? What happens if one of our predictions come true? Like, we never really thought of this. Like, what happens?
Well, what we will do is we will celebrate. We're going to talk about it. We're going to rub it in everyone's faces that we were right. We have it documented, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And basically, we're Miss Cleo if that happens, you know?
Oh my, we can go live. We can go live and then give predictions. And then we can also, like, we can pull cards for people. We should just pull cards for people live anyways.
Yes, yes.
How fun would that be? And put our own spin on it. Because, like, I pull my own cards sometimes. I'd like to do new moon ceremonies.
Yeah.
Where I just, like, you know, I put out my intentions. I set goals. I let go of things. And I always pull, like, a couple cards. But I always got to refer to the like, little reference booklet. Because sometimes I just don't know what any of the cards mean. So the last time that I pulled cards, I was like, oh, I got this one card. And I was like, this is a really shady card. But you know what? It ended up being a card that, because I pulled it and because I felt it was a negative card, I felt like I was really on guard at that point. And it saved me from a really, really bad decision, like a business decision.
Oh.
And I always think back, I'm like, that's because I pulled that card. And I centered my whole life around that card.
Yeah, exactly. And that's when I look at the cards, I like to intuitively read what's going on in the card and how that relates to, like, what we asked or whatever. And, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But let's get into our highlight and our lowlights. And we're going to tell you what we think.
Well, no, we got to start with the question first.
We got our question. I'm so excited for it. I'm skipping over shit.
We got Sonia from Ohio, and you almost cut her off.
Sorry, Sonia.
You almost silenced her.
Sorry, Sonia. I don't want to silence Sonia.
From Ohio. She's one of my people.
Hometown girly.
Hometown girls. Okay. I mean, there's like 10 million people in Ohio, but I've seen you guys post about your gardens. I just planted some berries and vegetables, and I'm scared to eat them. Is this normal?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's normal. I think we're like... Really... Yeah, we're like so disconnected from our food source that it's like, this is weird. This is weird.
It feels really weird. Like, so I don't grow the vegetables or like the fruits in the garden. That's Michael's thing. But the other day, Aiden brought in these peppers and they were ready and he was so excited to eat them. And I was just like, I'm scared to use them. Like, what if they're wrong?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, what if they're bad? What if they're wrong? And honestly, I haven't eaten anything because I'm scared to do it. Yet I'll go to the grocery store, drop a blueberry on the floor for like 5 seconds and like still eat it, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And that was me, like when I growing up, we grew like tomatoes and stuff like that. We canned the food or whatever. But like, I don't know, I was just a kid and I always thought it was weird then. And then as an adult, when I started gardening again, like I remember last year was my first year and I had these crops and I was like, I let some of them kind of rot in the fridge because I was so scared to eat the organic food that I love and cared for and intended to and grew myself. And I was like, what if something's wrong? Like, what if it's diseased? I don't know. You know?
Right? Like, I'll literally be like, I can't eat this homegrown red pepper because it could be wrong. However, I will go to McDonald's and crush fries and nuggies. Like,
oh, yeah.
What is wrong with me?
Totally. Like I would rather eat like the apple from the grocery store that's been gassed in a gas chamber to last for 6 months, you know? Like, I'm like, okay. But like it's
this
weird.
This cucumber in my backyard, like it could be harmful in some way. Yet I used to smoke cigarettes on the regular. Like I don't understand what's happening. You know what I mean? Like I don't get it.
And it is a weird thing. I wonder if other people, I guess we both feel this way. Sonia feels this way. Like, it's a weird thing. But it's also like, I think it's something that we gotta, you know, we've been brainwashed to feel this way. Brainwashed. Conspiracies. No.
They don't want us to grow our own food.
Yes. But didn't I, when you were here visiting, I picked you a berry off the vine and gave it to you, right?
Yeah, a berry.
Like, I was like, try these blackberries, girl. And I'm like, boop.
But you know what, though? I feel like I'm a little bit more trusting with blackberries because I used to have this, like, really weird tree at my grandparents' house, and it was just, like, this, like, weird berry. I don't know if it's a mulberry or whatever that would grow on it. So when I was a kid, I would just, like, eat off this tree. I don't know if we were supposed to eat them, but I would just eat them. So I'm accustomed to that. But a vegetable or something, I'm, like, terrified. I don't know.
Yeah.
I refuse to put them in my salad.
Well, we'll see. Like, I do the same thing. Like, we had berries growing wild where I grew up, you know, and like, whatever. And did you guys ever have a honeysuckle?
No, what is that?
Like, there's this little flower. They're like, it looks like it was like jasmine or something, but it's like a honeysuckle thing. And you, like, taste it, and it tastes like honey.
Maybe.
And it's really good. But, like, my brother used to, like...
do, but I don't know.
Yeah. Me and my brother were always, like, loose in the woods growing up. So we would, like, pick these or pick berries or whatever.
Oh, my God. Honeysuckles. Okay, let's get into the what is it, a highlight or low light?
Yeah,
we got Heidi from Orange County.
Okay, was the...
I ran into my ex this weekend, and now we have been texting. He has a girlfriend. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, so this could be either or for me. What do you think?
Okay, I'm gonna say... this is a low light.
Okay,
no,
why?
no. I mean, like, highlight because she's still got it going on. You know what I mean? The ex is still like, yeah, girl. I don't know. Girl, you don't want to get caught up into that mess. You don't want to get caught up in that mess. But I do. I like to...
step backwards.
Yeah. I like to... It's a step backwards. I do like it to kind of stalk my exes to see what's going on with their lives, you know?
I feel like this. I think it depends on what your intentions are. Okay. So if your intention is to get with this man, and if your intention is to rebuild a relationship, then this is the biggest form of low light. All right? Like, you don't do that. We don't go back to our exes. Okay, we're not doing that. We let them go. They're an ex for a reason. And you also don't want to be that girl. You don't want to be that girl to the other girl. You know what I mean?
No, yeah.
However, if this guy was like a complete asshole and he is texting you and you have him where you want him, it could be a highlight because you could seek your revenge.
Yes, get toxic, babes.
Set him up to tear him down. But you have to also remember that by doing that, you're tearing down her life too. Right? So, like, I'm not out to have it for the girlies. I think that we all got to stick together, right? And I'll tell you something right now. Nothing comes together more than a woman who wants to out a man.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So, if I'm reaching out to someone and I've had to do this and be like, have you heard from my man? This was in my past. The way that they will come around and non-judgment, like, they're no judgment. They're like, I got the receipts for you, babe. Here you go.
Got him.
And you can take them down. And I'm telling you, it could be a highlight if that's what you wanted to do. But you have to consider the girl. Because it's not her fault.
Yeah, it's not her fault. But, like, also it's like a warning. And let's say, hey, girl, he's a toxic piece of shit. Let's take him down together.
Exactly. That's how it could be a highlight, because you could be saving her as well, you know?
Yeah. We love it. Be toxic, you know?
Yeah, be toxic and, like, take him down. Who cares about him? So, we got Anonymous. Okay, I love when we have people that message us, and they're like, please just keep me anonymous. Is there any way you can write me down as anonymous? Yes, you can. I am a plus-size model. And recently, when I was on set, someone asked if I was the makeup artist. I That's going to be a low light for me, because as much as we love a makeup artist, and I would never be offended, you know, to be considered a makeup artist, when I'm showing up as a model and they can't recognize that, like, I'm the model.
Yeah.
Like, oh, are you the makeup artist? Like, no, I'm the model. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a low light.
Well, and it's also just like, you know, I think it's a big thing of like discussion of with plus size models, like people automatically assume if you're not like rail thin, they're like, oh, you're not a model. You know what I mean? Like you must be the makeup artist. You know?
Yeah.
Like you couldn't be like, you know, and it's like if I'm so insecure about my body and I am doing, you know, then I can't. This person that's bigger than me or whatever can't be the model. You know? And so it's definitely a low light. And I think that this is something that I've heard, and I'm not even in your industry like that, but it's something I've heard from other people as like an annoying thing that happens. You know what I mean? Like,
it's definitely happened. I wasn't asked if I was a makeup artist, but I was asked something, and I don't remember exactly what it was. It was when I was living in LA, and I was like, I'm your model. Like, how do you not know that I'm the model? Do you know what I mean? Like, normally people are given, like, forms to be like, this is the model, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
But it's so annoying. I just think it's so rude.
Yeah, it is rude, yeah. And it's, like, condescending in a way. And I guess, like, with, like, hair when I was younger, like, people would be like, oh, are you the assistant or whatever? And it's like, no, I'm just young. And I started early, you know?
And I'm ahead of the curve.
I try, whenever I'm, like, on set, like, and there's, like, a wardrobe stylist. I was doing something. I almost said what it was. I was doing a project that's, like, not out yet. And the wardrobe stylist, she was really young. And I could tell that because now I'm the older person on set. She was, like, kind of whatever around me, and I was just like, no girl, I love that you're young. I started really young, you know what I mean? But I could tell in the way that she was talking that she struggles with people taking her seriously because she's young, you know? And I'm like, girl, no, I've been there. Been there. Love that.
You're like, you gotta do your time.
Yeah. People always be like, oh, what are you, 12? I'll be like, fuck
right.
off.
So okay. This is the stars aligning for us. We have another anonymous.
Oh.
I love it. It's like, it just feels like there's so much trust in us. Like, they trust us enough to message us this, and they trust us enough to, like, keep me anonymous, okay?
Exactly,
so,
yeah.
I'm an EA, and accidentally saw an email from my boss's mistress. I didn't know he was having an affair.
I'm saying highlight because, honey, be toxic. Secure that promotion. Secure that raise. Secure that paid vacation time off, honey.
You have it in the bag. I'm with Kyle on this one. This might be the first one that we've agreed on. This is the highlight.
Yeah.
And not only though do you have the upper hand, you now have all the office tea. Like, every day you go into work now, you have something to talk about if you wanted to.
Oh my God, yeah. Yeah, and I just love it because it's like, well, you know, I mean, here's the thing. She could be a girl's girl and tell the boss's wife, but guess what?
100%.
What is that going to do? Like, it's just going to mess you over. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to get fired, you know? You're going to, like, whatever. He's going to keep doing his thing. You know what I mean? Like, the wife maybe already knows and doesn't care because she's cashing those checks.
I feel like, I don't know. Like, I feel like if that was me and someone, like, if Michael had an assistant and she was like, Michael's having an affair, I don't know. I feel like legally I would want to do something to take care of that girl. Like, I'd be like, oh, you're going to tell me and you're being a girl's girl? I'm going to hook you up before my divorce. Or I'm going to make sure that you're taken care of somehow through the divorce. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, exactly. You're like, you know what? Actually,
it's tricky.
Me and you, girl, we're taking over the company. You know? we're gonna burn this to the ground and like be on top together.
And then not only that, the wife has an in now. She could be like, I need you to find out. Let's set him up. Let's do whatever.
Yeah.
That little secret account that you knew about, let's hack into that. Let's tap into these things.
Exactly.
And then we can take him down and I'll give you more money. The more you find out, the more money. So you could be like, you could use it as towards your boss's blackmail, or you could be getting bribed by his wife. Like, I just feel like it overall is a highlight. Like, there's a win-win in any way you go.
Yes, exactly. Unless the wife doesn't believe her, because it's always the assistant that like they're having an affair with. So like the wife could be like, you know, already thinking of her as like a mistress, because like women know, like there's intuition, like what's going on, and she's probably like, oh, he's sleeping with the assistant, you know?
Yeah. I don't know though, but if somebody came and told me, even if I was in that position where I was like, oh, he must be hooking up with her or whatever. If I was in that position and then the person came to me and was like, look, I found this, I would instantly be like, I have so much respect for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I can't believe I was wrong.
Well, how would she do it? Because she like, is this like Jersey Shore when they leave the anonymous note?
I don't know.
It's like it gets
I don't know.
dropped.
I would secretly just be like forming my own shit in the background. Like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like I would never, as the wife, I would never let on that I knew until I was completely set up. Until I had like my full on lawyered up action plan. And then I'd be like, oh, by the way. And I'd be like, little anonymous, like, you're coming with me. Like, I already found you a new job. And I would take her with me.
Yes.
I don't know.
You already got her, like, the coin stacked away in a bank in the seashells.
I do.
Yeah.
I would. Well, this was fun. I think this brings us to our time. We've done a lot today. Predictions, little storytelling.
Yeah. A lot of tangents.
Well, thank you so much for listening, guys. We hope that you tune in next week and find us on TikTok and have some fun with us, because like I'm in my TikTok era. And what is it? It's the Blonde Highlights Show. We'll link it. But thank you so much, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.